So quiet. I'll just get ready. I'll play 4 or 5 songs and they just don't make a sound. I'll just go boo.
And
then Albert will come and go boo.
Right. Hey, I loved the description in the paper last night. That was classic. There wasn't one truth in the entire article. It was all the most fantastic lies they could concoct.
Well, from what town, man?
From the last town, Edinburgh. Another night of catcalls for Dylan.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Many of the audience walked out.
I saw one, man. Did you see one paper that said, everybody walked out?
I haven't seen that one.
Everybody walked out. I saw a paper that said, everybody walked out. In Liverpool, I saw it.
They're really losing their minds, you know, really. Totally insane.
I'm gonna walk out.
We want the real Dylan. Dylan, stand up.
I've decided just to tell him, man, that Dylan got sick.
ABC Steve here, FlipSideCT. Last video I showed were record finds, vinyl finds. I forgot where. I think they were from Discogs and all over, but check it out. And this time I got a few albums from Discogs and a flea market. I've been seeing some Facebook postings. I don't remember what it is if people are just showing random things. I can't remember where they're from, but talking about the possible decline of vinyl. Now, I don't know if this is strategic by the MP3 folks or whoever, but there's like 2 things that I saw and I researched and I was just scratching my head. And I then did more research and said, and looked into vinyl and the momentum it has, and it seemed like they were just BS type articles because vinyl seems to be just booming as we know it. Hey, you walk in all these stores and you're starting to see turntables, not 1, not 2, not 3, 5, 6 of them, of different choices, different price points. So hey, it's still cranking. So buy up those classics, those used classics while you can, if you see them used. But then again, support the anyway. They say Record Store Day was a record numbers, so that's cool. Geez, I want to talk about so many different things, but I just try to keep my videos at a certain time frame, so I'm going to move. Flea market. I only found 2 records at a flea market a couple of weeks ago. One of them, Sly Stone's Hey, There's a Riot Going On. You know about this. I believe this is his 5th one. Really, just some darker side of Sly here. Definitely in a different place, druggy place. But still, this is like in the top 500 albums to have. So they say, you know, that's all, you know, relative to what you feel. But what was really interesting when I was listening to this album, I heard the drums, and I said, this sounds different. And I looked into it more, and what did I find? You know, this drum machine, Maestro Rhythm King, has presets and different speeds. You could adjust it. And Sly had an early prototype. And there was another one I think Ry Cooder used. Or is it J.J. Cale? J.J. Cale, I think. But anyway, so he had a Family Affair and a few other songs. And I thought that was pretty different. But he recorded this in Sausalito and also his Bel Air mansion. So I think he was in his Bel Air mansion. He was doing his own overdubs. Nobody around. Didn't have the people with him. But, you know, he was in a weird place. A dark album. Not the usual upbeat soul. But did have funk in here. And Bobby Womack playing guitar. Ike Turner, which I didn't know. And, you know, this is... like I said, it's a murky production, sometimes incoherent, you know, sounds from him. And hey, I'm not going to beat this up. Get it. Any early Sly albums, they're just wonderful. And the other one is, here we go, an album I've been wanting for so long. until I got a clean copy. Prague. If you like Yes, you're going to like Chris Squire's solo album, 1975, Fish Out of Water. When I talked to a few people, they didn't realize that he had a solo album. Yeah, this is definitely a solo album, just like Howe and Anderson had, and Mraz and Wakeman. They all jumped on. Hey, if you're into Yes, if you have podcasts, download Here's the Thing. That is Alec Baldwin's podcast. He interviews John Anderson, and it is such an informative interview. Check it out. Please let me know if you do and what you think, because if you're a fan, you've got to hear this. I didn't know that John Anderson was looking at Vangelis to take Rick Wakeman's place, which was really interesting. It would have been a really, really different, or was it he was trying to get him to I don't know. Check it out. I got to listen to it again. It was that good. Excellent album, Prague. It's just brilliantly made. It's got so much going on, as a Yes album does.
I see good people drowning in the sea of life. If you ever come through my town, I've got a place for you to lie down. I said, hey.
I'm not sure if you could guess who that was. You probably have a thought. You're probably saying, I never heard that. No, it is not Lou Reed, not Velvet Underground. This is Peter Parrott, who I've been talking about from The Only Ones. 1973, he had a band called England's Glory, and this is a reissue of the album. He made acetates only, I think like 40 copies. And 1987, this reissue came out, and this is actually a matchbook cover, but this is England's Glory, 1973. The band is really cool, really good musicians, and one of the guys on here I mentioned a while ago with Peter and the Only Ones, Harry Kakuli, the bass player for he played in Squeeze. You Squeeze fans know that. I know you do. And David Clark is a lead guitar in here. And this is just an album for me that I had to get. It's not for everybody. Of course, the vocals are different. Not everyone likes Lou Reed's sound. Yes, he's a Velvet Underground huge fan. Bob Dylan fan too. But they say when you go into a studio for the first time, sometimes your what should I say? Your favorite's voice cometh out. The person who inspires you the most, you start sounding like. So that's sort of maybe why Lou Reed also sounded. He has that Lou Reed sound. But anyway, this is just a cool album. I love it. Hard to find, but you can get it. England's Glory.
Wish I could stay on in England. Ever since
He told me about a band which is out of Cleveland, and they were in the 74-75 time frame, and the band is called Rocket from the Tombs. I'm not sure if people know about this. If you do, great, let me know. If you don't, and you gonna like this pure rock and roll, punk, whatever you want to call it. But the deal here is, the band back then didn't make an album. They recorded songs, but didn't put anything out. And who was in it was, and I screwed his name up, so bear with me, Perry Ubu, Per Ubu, however you want to do it. David Thomas is the lead singer. The avant-garde band, around 74, 75, out of Cleveland, and the Dead Boys. Those two bands prior were in here, and Cheetah Chrome and Johnny Blitz was in here, and maybe one or two other people, and they went their separate ways. And Sonic Reducer was made by this band and a few other songs, and they took those songs and put it into their own groups. And in 2002, they morphed back. I guess there was some energy with David, and Cheetah was willing, and then the other addition was Richard Lloyd from television, who plays with this. But Cheetah is definitely a highlight here. It's called Rocket Redux, however you want to pronounce it, R-E-D-U-X. And it has some of the original members. Again, on here is also Sonic Reducer, Down in Flames. Songs written by Thomas, a guy named Bell also, and also, Cheetah. And this is just cool rock and roll. What can I say? They have a first album, which I'll be looking into, the day the Earth met the Rockets. The Rockets from the Tubes. I don't know why they put that name in there, but this is cool. Get it if you like this. This next band is called Dogs d'Amour. In 1983 they started out of London. You want to call it a glam rock, glam punk, Hanoi rock, Stones Faces type band. Cool rock and roll here. This album is called King of Thieves. This is the British, this is the US version. The British is called Errol Flynn. They couldn't use Errol Flynn because of US Errol Flynn, the estate complained. But this is just straightforward rock and roll.
I think they find it hard, yeah, to get accustomed to my ways. Somehow I knew it wasn't right. Somehow I knew we weren't meant to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How could anyone fall for a drug like me? How could anyone possibly see?
Okay, this last band and this last album has the band in it, and they're actually called the Hawks. This is Dylan's The Real Royal Albert Hall 1966 concert. I've been wanting to get this because I just love the band. I want to hear all the old sound of what Robbie Robertson did and what the band did. So 1965-66 tour that Dylan did, starting with Newport, of course, going electric, going around the U.S., Canada, Hawaii. Hawaii's a country, right? And down to Australia, Scandinavia, and I think Paris maybe, but went to England and Royal Albert Hall. So there's a first album called the Royal Albert Hall 66, which is really the Manchester Free Trade Hall, and they recorded it there and mistakenly put Royal Albert Hall, so that's why they say this is the real one. This is the concert at the Royal Albert Hall in 66. One album is acoustic, as you see the old look to it, the acoustic Dylan side, And the second album which is on my turntable, is the Electric with the band. This is really good sound. The one with the band, a little distorted, a little fuzzy, not as clear as I would really want it, but I just love the band. It's an historic piece of music, so I don't mind having it. So right after this tour is when Dylan got in the Accent in '66. I guess didn't tour until '74, and I believe May 26th, 27th is when he played the Royal Albert Hall.
These are all protest songs now, come on. It's not British music, it's American music. Now come on.
I enjoyed it. I'm glad I got it. A little disappointed in the sound, but it's still cool. Thank you, VC. There's a new record store opening up in Manhattan called Limited to One on 10th Street. It's supposed to be Rare Records, contemporary rare. I don't know what that means, but supposedly this guy went around the world, got a bunch of albums, and he's selling it in his new store with his wife. Around the corner, 2 blocks, is Academy, which is great in Manhattan. So I will hope to get there soon. I don't know what I'm going to get, but he says a sort of Discogs price. We'll see. Thanks, VC. I hope you have a great summer, winter down there.